Okay, well, first of all, Mladen, thanks for finding the time. I'm super excited to meet you and to discuss a little bit further because I've been living in Croatia now for 18 years. I've been running my news portal now for 5 years, and I speak to lots of different people from different sections of Croatian society, from entrepreneurs to politicians to sportsmen and tourism and so on. And we're in this crazy situation with coronavirus, but I'm seeing more and more there's an opportunity to create a better Croatia. And there is an opportunity for the young, progressive, local guy to come to the fore and to establish new relationships and new things. And what I've seen about your company so far is this really fits that particular potential. So perhaps firstly, just tell us a little bit. I mean, I understand you've been in business since 1981. The company. Can you just tell us a little bit about the company, how you got started, and where you are now?
It's a long story, but I will try to explain it in very short.
Okay.
This is a family business. I'm not alone in this. Here is also my father and mother, also my brothers, and we work together. Everything started before 40 years when my father was working on fields, and also he worked his daily job. So he always worked two jobs per day, and he still work from morning to evening. They never grow like regular cultures, like in beginning, like wheat or corn or whatever else did. They grow chamomile in that way. Now is just a regular thing, but in that time, people was thinking that chamomile is like a weeds. So it was terrible situations in the village when they start to grow chamomile because other farmers was thinking that the chamomile will destroy their crops.
Okay.
They even start to grow peanuts in
Wow.
Croatia just
Really?
to.
Okay.
That's just was for testing purposes. It never
Yeah.
grow in business, but they had experience in that also. Before like 15 years, we converted our agricultural fields to organic certificated. So we was also one of the first organic certificated farmers in Croatia.
One of the things that really interests me, and it's very hard to get a perspective on this, is that back in the 1980s, Slavonia was feeding not only Croatia but probably the region, and it's a very very fertile region, and obviously with emigration, with the problems with agricole, that agricultural power has been somewhat reduced, and now we have a lot of imports coming in. Can you talk a little bit about what was the situation back then in the 80s in terms of Slavonia and its food production? What's the situation today? And what's the potential for Croatia to get things started again for Slavonia so that Croatia can start feeding itself?
The key of economical recovery of Slavonia, because in that time even war was not so terrible as now, like importing other agricultural products from outside of Croatia. So I mean that economical situation right now that is resulted from importing food is worse than the war time. Before war and even through the war, Slavonia was very rich in any food production. You can say that before 25 years, every house in Slavonia was
Sufficient.
self-sufficient. Yeah.
One of the messages I'm getting from listening to you, and it's very, very interesting, thank you, is that you have, in your 40-year history, you have been forced to be outstanding crisis managers, and you've been forced to come up with innovation to deal with very unusual situations. I mean, obviously, the fall of socialism, and then the Homeland War, and then you get through that, and then you have the 2008 crisis, and then you have the EU entry, and then you have the Russian sanctions, and you're still fighting, and you're still there, and you're still smiling. It's great. Um, and now we have a new crisis, 2020, with coronavirus, and one of the things that's really coming out from talking to you is how innovative you are. If it's bringing peanuts to Croatia, or if it's all these different products that you're doing, and now you're moving from food into hand sanitizer. I understand. Can you tell us a little bit about that product and how that came to be?
Sanitizer was like just happened. And when this crisis come, like 2020, it was just a regular day in our company. Oh, crisis. Okay, management. We will manage it. And how it's happened, really, because we are food industry. We have procedures for cleaning, disinfection, and that's on the daily basis. And everything you see now on television, and everybody is spraying around, cleaning surfaces, the environment they're working. That's regular thing for food production companies like us. So nothing special changed in our daily basis work in production. But in one time, we just couldn't buy a professional sanitizer for our purposes. Idea came, okay, we can produce our own sanitizer because we have alcohol for cannabis extraction. We can use that to bridge the period until we get sanitizer from our suppliers. We make very fast R&D on sanitizers. It is not so complicated products, and we finished that 2 weeks. Yeah. And when we start that, there was calls from police or pharmacies or companies all over. We heard that you have alcohol and sanitizers you are producing. We said, yeah, but for our own purposes only in this time, because we didn't register that for for the retail for the product.
No.
And that was the real trigger when we recognized the possibility that if situation is like this, we need to help those people on the first place. We need to make sanitizer for them, and we started producing sanitizer for them. We wanted to use only environmentally friendly ingredients, and this is keep it simple way, simple and natural way.
Tell us now where things are. What's the possibility? What's the opportunity, and what's stopping you from realizing that opportunity?
Situation with sanitizer, as you mentioned, we started that because of need on the market. People who recognize us wasn't retailers, it was just people in need for the sanitizer. So that's why we started all procedures, and we came to final stage that we have certificated product, as you said.
I get the impression you're a very ethical company, and obviously the line of products you've got, very organic and so on, and you're a very hardworking family business. Tell us a little bit about price, what your pricing is going to be on this, and the logic behind it.
Pricing is in this moment, I think that is the lowest price in Croatia. We put only margin that is suitable for us as company to run, not to gain the huge money on it, just to can be honest and to get to people what they need, but for reasonable price.
So two final questions. How do you buy it?
Now you can buy a Securol from our Facebook site or our website, or you can send email at info@securol.eu.
Okay, well, I think it's fantastic. I really, we're rooting for you. This is the 4 decades of amazing stuff from this family, and we'll support you in any way we can. And thanks very much for your time. I know you're super busy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right. Ciao.
Have a nice day.